Hello, everybody. How we doing tonight? Time to get back to Chandler Halderson, baby. New girl, video games. This is Monday. I really want to soundbite this kid into some kind of, some really thumping, like dropping dance number. Went back and forth through some video games. And Sunday night, Cat slept in my bed with me. This is when I'm really starting to notice my legs. I just looked down. And there they were, just hanging off my body, hanging off my mid body. Legs. Really started to notice those legs. And Cress at the farm, she was helping me notice my legs, and we went back and forth through some video games. Watched New Girl. Let's remind ourselves, what was that thing he said about the show that he watched on Netflix? Yeah, what was it? It was they thrill seekers. They fake their deaths and they fly airplanes and they fight the evil of the world by being ghosts. I still want to see whatever the hell he's talking about. Does anyone know what that show is? I don't want to watch the whole show. I really don't have time for that. But I wouldn't mind checking out the trailer or the what do you call it? The clips, Anyway, I think it's time to get back to it, guys. Where were we in this story? Let's share this puppy. Share this screen. Hey, rabbit, look who's on time. Fresh from her burrow. Welcome back, baby. Hey, Rabbit. So I listened to the whole fancy fiction stream, that 2-hour stream. I think she put it up about a week ago, maybe two. And she started going on about how people put up podcasts that don't know the case and haven't watched the trial and really don't know anything about it. And I was thinking, oh my God, is she talking about me? Maybe she has seen the channel and hates me and what I do. But, okay, I haven't read everything like she has. I don't have the time for that. I wish I did. But I have watched the whole trial, all three of them, several times. Yeah, and I do read certain stuff, and I get I'm pretty knowledgeable about the especially the Adelson trial. I mean, who isn't? I got the facts. I don't think she's talking about me. I think she's talking about people who are like, oh yeah, and Dan Markel didn't even read her book, so he was distant. He was a distant husband, and when they drove down to Miami, he would make her drive all the way, and he would say, "You may not speak." It was fishy from the get-go. A lot of people started to believe it, and they said, well, maybe he did deserve that. Professor Markel was pretty distant. But I never did. I know people like Wendy. Dangerous, sick people. And, I make it my business to spot everything she does. Good and bad, except there's no things good. There's nothing good. Okay, Chandler Halderson tonight. Part 2. We're going to finish up Chandler tonight? Yeah, I guess so. It's about 50 minutes of footage here. So that should take us up to around the 22nd of May. Oh, we lost a viewer already. Was I going on too long? Rabbit, she says your name within the first 8 minutes of the show. Check it out. I'll see if I can send you a timestamp later. Anyway, we got to get to this. There's business to be doing. Chandler, what do you got to say, bud?
I told him what's happening with my health because I had the appointment at 2. Did you go to the farm before or after?
After, because I told them what happened to me.
Yeah. Cat's place is called the Duplex, and Cress is the farm, and my house is my house. I mean, he does have this really ridiculous way of lying that's quite similar to something. Hey, Matilda Jaeger, you got the Jaeger bombs tonight for us, girl. Matilda. Tilly. I bet she hates being called Tilly. All right, we can call you Matilda. That's fine. Like that girl in the. Did you have a teacher called Miss Honey? What do we say? Yeah, that way of lying where people try to look like they're remembering things. Wendy does it with like, well, we got married in 2000 and the fall of 2004. I mean, she even does it with spelling her own name. Spell my name. WENDI. Chandler as well is like, yeah. So, Matilda, I know it. And does anyone pronounce your last name Jaeger? Jaguar. Matilda drives a Jaguar.
And I told them the legs are probably going to be permanent, and the headaches should be fixed after the hemorrhage is cleared a little bit. So now that I'm there.
Oh, the hemorrhage is clearing, guys. Weep for me, Argentina. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to notice my legs and the brain clot, and my neck brace just fell off because my neck started to swell up.
There. I talked to their mom and Crest together. And
nothing against Wisconsin, guys. Hello, the dairy state. But this guy alone has really ruined the cheese belt for me. It's over. Every time I hear anyone say ma, okay, can't really do a Wisconsin accent, but you know how they talk. This guy's ruined the whole state for me.
I think Kat's mom is all right with me. I don't know, she wants me to move into the east side Kat's house,
okay,
and start paying rent as an apartment because she doesn't like to live at home.
Does Kat live with their mom, or?
Kat has an apartment.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Kat does?
Yeah, it's by Mifflin.
Okay.
The Party Avenue. It's by there.
Okay.
So I'm there talking to their mom and Chris. Then I go up to have, breakdown by the shed, and they go swimming.
Oh, cue breakdown, guys. You all ready for this? He started kicking the grass, and he started doing, okay, inverted commas, toddler tantrum shit. And he uses this thing, and you know what this kid's problem is? The only people he's an isolator, right? I mean, I'd call him an incel, except he has a girlfriend. Unbelievably, I know, I was shocked too, right? But he's just the only people he knows how to lie to is mom and dad, and his girlfriend's mom and her girlfriend. It's just like, these are the cops, man. Your bullshit doesn't work here. Not even close. I've even forgotten what he does this little tactic with his, like, it's the old cocaine smuggler's trick, remember? Where you volunteer information that makes you look like not in a good light. You know, he's going to go, oh, yeah, then I was having a breakdown, just doing toddler tantrum shit, you know, kicking the grass. I actually cried. And he does this like, oh, I'm admitting something, so it must be true, because if I were lying, why would I make myself look bad?
Right by the swimming pool is the shed, so they wanted to watch me, like, you know, break down and all that. So after I noticed they're just watching, I just walk over to them.
By the way, anyone who doesn't know, I mean, I know all of this case, but I'm taking it for granted that everyone else is as sad as me and just lives in court. Okay, so there was no breakdown by the shed. Basically, there's this farm that is okay. His girlfriend's mother. His girlfriend's called Kat. Her mother is called shit. What's her name? Dulce. And Dulce has a girlfriend called Cress, and Cress lives in her dad's farm, like a hobby farm, you know. And they have a little outdoor swimming pool, above ground pool, very tacky, on top of a hill. And these two old ladies, they're not so old, but you know what I mean. Older people drive up to this swimming pool on a motorized, what do you call it? A petrol mower, tractor mower. And Chandler said, oh, the swimming is really good, like aqua therapy for my legs, for my fake injury. And I was building my lats back up on the 4th of July, and it would be great for my physio. It would be really great for my physio if I could go and use the pool, in private. So they said, okay, well, you were just here yesterday and you've come to the house uninvited, which is a bit weird, but sure, go and use the pool. And he drives up there in his car with his father's torso in the trunk, no head, no arms, legs cut off just below the in the middle of the thigh, boxer shorts still on. And then while he's doing his physiotherapy in the swimming pool, what he's really doing is dragging his father's torso into the bush, hiding it under a pile of sticks, and then taking all of the rusty, bloody saw blades, hacksaw blades, whatever, axe, he's hiding those in a barrel. And then he's so long that it's a really hot day, middle of July or beginning of July in Wisconsin, really hot day. And Cress is like, hey, what's taking him so long? I'm going to go and use the pool. So they drive up in the little mower and they get in the water. And they were expecting to see him in the pool, but the pool cover was still on and he hadn't been in it. And and then Chandler comes wandering out of the bushes. So all this stuff about the breakdown is only exists in Chandler's own mind, which must be a very dark and lonely place, especially now in prison.
Describe a breakdown to me.
I actually cried.
Chandler thought he was a real quick thinker there. Cop asks a difficult question. Anytime you think someone is lying, it's real simple. Find a way to politely ask them to expand on that subject. Say your boss comes in and says, yeah, I was going to pay your wages today, but there was an incident at the bank and I couldn't. You say, so this incident at the bank, care to elaborate on that? And your boss is probably like, well, it was a robbery and some nuns came in with an AK-47. Anyway.
Started kicking grass. Just doing the toddler tantrum shit. Then I hopped in the water with them.
Okay.
So it was too late. I was in the water and I realized Crest didn't have a top.
Okay.
And that was uncomfortable. But I talked to them more, and that's when she brought up the housing situation, how she doesn't like how my parents are. I guess I don't know. She doesn't know them that well. She never met them.
Okay. Chris was saying that?
The cat's mom. Cat's mom is speaks his her first thought right away.
Yeah.
So
That's the other thing with Chandler, is that he has all of these lines that he uses again and again and again. It's like he just collects fillers of conversations, you know. So Cress, she speak no, Dulce, Kat's mom just speaks her first thought right away, you know. And he's probably heard his mother say that sentence, and he's picked it up, and he's just, there is nothing there apart from what is now almost certainly a rape victim, you know, a jail prison bitch. I mean, look at him. You're 23 years old, you're a skinny nothing kid, and you just got sent to jail forever, and nobody has any reason to want to be anything nice to you at all. I mean, you know, not to rub it in, Chandler, but how's it going? You know, how's your appeal? How's your all your supportive protection? Not well, huh? Well,
they're offering me to get a job, live with them, work for them while I'm working, and pay rent. And that's kind of their deal. I would have like a month free of rent, or a month or two maybe, if they're thinking. I could be able to borrow a car from Crest maybe if she's nice or not using it. I'd be able to go to work.
Does she have a lot of cars or something? No. Okay. Just an extra one, probably.
She stays at the farm.
Okay.
So if she didn't need it, I could use it
Sure.
to go to a job or at least interviews.
Yeah. Go to all those job interviews. I'm sure Elon Musk is waiting for your arrival anytime now. I mean, God, do people know this case with his SpaceX lie? I mean, everybody knows this case, right? I'm really surprised, Rabbit, you don't know this case. We got to talk, Rabbit. I am not impressed. Hey, Hildy. Welcome, our friend from Oslo. Or maybe another place, but Oslo is the only one I know. And Lilyhammer.
I was hoping for a job, you know, near where I live so I could bike. That would keep me, you know, these going. I don't think they can get worse, but I could keep doing it, you know. What was I doing? Where are we?
Sunday. So you were swimming, having a breakdown. What were you having a breakdown about?
You ever have your legs kind of? Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Just.
Did you see that little bit of a shitty attitude there, wasn't there? What were you having a breakdown about? And then he just stares. And then passes it off with a little chuckle, like, did you ever have your legs not work like me and my neck brace? Because of my concussion and the nerve damage? It's a symptom of nerve damage.
I don't even know if they're done getting like as bad as they can be yet. So that's not fun.
And I think you were telling me last night it's a symptom of a concussion, right?
So
Is that right?
that's not it. It's a symptom of nerve damage from the hit to my spine. So it's permanent.
Okay, I understand that now better.
Yeah. So it's just legs. I think it's.
Hey, Ryan B says that he loves this detective, Brian Chunk, right? I feel like he feels like the other detective sort of blows it at the end, though, because the other detective, when they finally say, okay, buddy, game's up, we know everything that happened, the other detective's like, we know your parents are no longer with us, and we know the reason why. So it's time. We're going to start with a blank sheet of paper for you to start telling the truth. I kind of like that, detective. I think Brian Chunk isn't doing anything. I mean, I think these guys' biggest restraint comes from they could have really had some fun with him. You know, Brian Chunk is doing nothing. I mean, he doesn't need to. And he's got this kind of soft guy approach, like he laughs at these ridiculous things like, oh, yeah, your dogs. Well, my dogs love squeaker toys and they chew the squeakers out and then don't play with them anymore. You know, to kind of make Chandler feel comfortable enough to sit. But I think they could have played it like, okay, listen, we think we know what happened to mom and dad. Now, this other couple, we may have located the car. And it's being tested at the moment, but there was a substance recovered from the car that we believe to be human blood. Do you know your father's blood type? You know, they could have really just rinsed this guy through the works, and that would have been great value for all of us, right? That would have been hilarious just to see him go, oh, well, my dad is, he bleeds all over the house. And, we haven't got to that part yet. He's going to go on about, the detective's going to be like in a minute, he's going to be like, would there be any reason for mom or dad's blood to be in the house? And of course, yes, because Chandler shot them both in the back in the kitchen and then spent 3 days scrubbing the floors and hiding the bodies and chopping them up and burning their heads in the fireplace. There's blood everywhere. And Chandler needs to find a reason that they might find some evidence, right? So he's like, yeah, my dad scratches his psoriasis until he gushes blood. And the detective Brian Chunk is like, describe gushing to me. So many great lines from Brian.
It's a waste.
Hey, look, if we take Ryan B and we put the B in front of the Ryan, we've got Brian. And we're talking about Brian Chunk. That's weird.
Feeling is probably colostomy bag down the road and all of that, but here we are.
Colostomy bag down the road? Where did that come from? A colostomy bag down the road. Why would anyone want to hear about that? Why is that part of his lie? Okay, you've got a symptom of nerve damage and a concussion and you can't move your legs and your neck brace and the legs are permanent, but to just throw in a colostomy bag down the road, I mean, what is your game?
Okay, we're sitting in the pool, we're hanging out. They're just talking to me. Sometimes they're being nice, sometimes they're like making the offer, like, hey, if you move in, you can pay rent. This is a good neighborhood. It's a cul-de-sac. There's parking.
God, that goddamn neighborhood, that good neighborhood doesn't know how lucky they are that this psycho kids didn't move in and start playing video games all over the neighborhood. Monday we went back and forth through some video games and we watched New Girl, and then on Sunday cat slept in my bed with me.
Yeah, on the east side, just off of Milwaukee Street. That's Andrew. You take a left turn onto Andrew down Milwaukee.
Yep.
So that's it. So it's a good neighborhood, kind of like the one by my parents.
Mm-hmm.
If I live there.
Hey, Wednesday. We're so glad to have you aboard, babe. What's your last name? Adams?
I at least be on doing my own thing. And then they're like, well, appreciate you stopping by. So I head out and I go, it was Monday afternoon, I go to dinner at Cat's house on the east side.
Okay. What time do you think that was?
Had to be 7:30. I left the farm, which is Cress's.
7:30 p.m.
Cress's is the farm.
Okay.
So we're at Cat's. And then she's planning on feeding me. This is Monday, correct?
Yeah.
She's planning on feeding me. That's another way, one of those sentences, isn't it? Like Wendy Adelson saying, kosher food has to do with the mixing of milk and meat. One of those sentences that is uniquely their own, to the point where it's almost like a catchphrase. No one in the history of spoken language has ever said, it has to do with the mixing of milk and meat. Even in the synagogues, the rabbis are never saying it like that. They'd probably say dairy and, whatever. It's just a weird thing. Apologies if it's not. But I think that's a common thing. People always go on about psychopaths being fixated on food, carnivorous, and he just said something weird. What was it? She was planning Sunday. She was planning on feeding me. Like, what are you? A snake in a snake pit? I mean, yeah, he is kind of.
That's after the farm swim with Cress. I think we just eat and cuddle a little bit.
Okay.
When I go home, there's the girls. Let them out and go to bed because I kind of had a day.
Yeah.
Apple River. Is that somebody's name? If it is, I want to meet that person. What a great name. How do you do? I'm Apple River. If it's a person, I want to meet the person. If it's a place, I want to go there and sail on that river while eating an apple.
What time do you think you left her place?
I'd say 9.
He left about 9. Okay. She didn't come with you?
No, I was alone that night.
Okay.
Don't really want to drag her away. I think she stayed at her apartment or her house that night, not apartment.
Okay.
So there we are. Tuesday morning. It was just. I can't remember Tuesday.
Yeah, don't remember Tuesday, guys. Hey, Wednesday, you're next. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, rather, I reveal how my brain works. Actually, that was a real Grish thing to do, wasn't it? He's always on about being such a visual thinker, and he really is. But did anyone see Grish on 544 Camp Street's stream as a guest? Because he was like in a mask and sunglasses, a hoodie up. It was like, what is this? What is this? He's hiding his identity from who? From his neighbors or from the Adelsons? I was like, really, okay. I didn't expect that, and it's fine. Just not something I expected.
Dan wakes me up, I believe, with something, or not wakes me up. I did the 6 again with the dogs and the food, but I got back in bed. I don't know if I passed out or zoned out a little bit, but Dan is worried about my mom on Tuesday, I think.
Did he call?
I said no word. My mom. I don't know if he called it. I think he just.
So you can see in the date stamp, the time stamp at the bottom here, that it's the 8th of July, right? I think he shot and killed his parents on the 1st. So for the full week, he's been cutting up his parents' bodies, hiding them in the chest freezer in the basement, going to the gas station. No, the Quick Trip to buy huge sacks of ice to chill his parents' bodies in the chest freezer in the basement, then making a huge fire in the family living room fireplace to burn his parents' heads, which really didn't work out because when the cops got to the fireplace, they were like, we better test this for bones. And they found all the bones, the medical, CSI guy just picked up this piece and was like, oh, that's a human skull. So not quite to the level of a crematorium, but, it was a huge fire. And of course, all the doorbell camera footage in the neighborhood was like, oh, there's the black house. And, oh, there's this one window that's really, really bright. And then you see this sort of explosion of light in this really poor quality video. But they were able to take the camera in the day and the camera at night. Obviously, it doesn't move. So they just mapped it and they were like, oh, look, it's that window next to the fireplace that's making all that big explosive light. So that happened. And people were like, why is he burning a fireplace in the middle of July when it's huge, hot Wisconsin weather? I mean, not that Wisconsin's really hot, but in July it gets hot, right?
Content. That's what I can think of.
Reached out.
Yeah, he reached out. Then I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday morning. They should be here. No worry. I think I called my mom that day.
All right.
And then,
Hey, Rocky Shop of Horrors, is it? That's a great song. I always thought that was Buddy Guy singing that song, but it's not. But I thought Buddy Guy was the voice of the plant that's singing "Feed Me" to Seymour.
You talk her.
no, she never picked up. It's always the voicemail and say voicemail. When you so it's off, out of range. I don't know the other factors that could give you that.
It's like a voicemail.
Ready for this? We've got this involved with the investigation. So he's going to list out all the possible reasons that you could call a cell phone and it go to, a dead ring or straight to message. He was like, so what are the factors? And he uses big words like factors, that you would only ever use in an investigation with the FBI. Yeah. What are the factors that can give you that? Let's list them out verbally together as a group. Off, out of range, and that's it. And he's waiting for the cops to pick it up and go, okay, yeah, good idea, Chandler. Lead this investigation, Chandler. Let's get a fresh blank sheet of paper, Chandler. List, title at the top, reasons a phone could go straight to a dead ring. Off, out of range.
Okay, go straight to voicemail, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever factors can give you that.
So I might have missed it. So from the time they left, did you talk to them at all when they were
I got a
up
text.
north? You got the one text
And I
that you mentioned
don't
earlier,
even like it.
right?
Yeah.
But that was it? Nothing else?
Yeah. So that's fishy to me, even the text, because I realized Memorial Day is when the White Lake Parade is.
Oh, sure.
There's no 4th of July. Maybe there's cheap drinks, but there's no parade on White Lake.
So his cover story was that he after he shot his mom and chopped her up, he sent himself a text from her phone, but in his own house. But the text alluded to her being 3 hours north in White Lake. And the text said something like, "Made it to White Lake, and yes, it's packed. Going to the parade tomorrow, and since then he's found out that there is no parade on the 4th of July in White Lake. It's Memorial Day that they have a parade." So now he's just saying, yeah, that's fishy. That's kind of fishy. Maybe the mystery couple had a gun to their head, and that was her way of trying to send us a clue, to send help. Like, remember the Gabby Petito case where Brian Laundrie had her phone and used it to text her mom, "Can you contact Stan?" And her grandfather, Gabby's grandfather's name was Stan, but she always called her grandfather, you guessed it, grandfather, or grandpappy, or granddad. And people online were like, yes, maybe the use of the word Stan was an acronym for send the authorities now, which was like, okay, people get too wrapped up. You can find meaning for anything. Remember 9/11 when everyone started going, hang on a minute, New York City has 11 letters. George W. Bush has 11 letters. Osama bin Laden has 11 letters. Afghanistan has 11 letters. It's like, well, yeah, there are 11 letter words, unless you're playing Scrabble. And then it's impossible.
So, well, maybe there is now. I realize I've always gone on Memorial because that's the weekend I get time off from school and all of that. You don't get.
Yeah, that's the weekend he gets time off from his fake school, and the time he gets fake time off from his fake job with Elon Musk. Memorial Day, all the other national holidays. Let's list them. See if I can do them as a Brit. Martin Luther King, Labor Day, Martin Luther King Day, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Independence Day, New Year's Day. Oh, I know there's more. I'm kind of stuck, and this isn't the American General Knowledge for True Crime Metrix exam. We have to remember that.
The time off for the 4th.
But soon I'll really impress y'all and name all 50 states in under 3 minutes.
So basically, from the time that they're gone at the cabin in your home, running around doing what you're doing, you just had one communication with mom.
Yeah, that's kind of how I just assumed the amount of people, where they're at, and whether they're all.
Well, I understand. I'm just making sure it wasn't more than one.
Her not contacting, but this was the only text.
Was there anything with Dad?
No, I won't even bother talking to him. He wouldn't use his phone while he's out there. He loves it.
Oh,
but
does he keep his phone on him when he's up there?
It's usually in the car.
Oh, okay.
My brother and I just text all the time while we're up there. We even set up wire antennas sometimes to make better connection.
Sure.
Okay. So here we are. Where?
Tuesday. Called mom. Voicemail immediately.
Tuesday-ish. Where?
Dan called, worried about mom not coming to work. You had already fed the dogs and that before Dan called it or reached out to.
So Tuesday. I'm doing this part. I got a coffee at a Quick Trip one day. Well, I think that could have been Tuesday morning.
Okay.
At Quick Trip, I got a coffee, and I used my dad's number at a Quick Trip to get me the free one because it was the Kruger Gold. Yeah. I could have afforded it, but there's a free one, and it's Tuesday, or it wasn't Monday. I could have gotten a $1 one, but it was full price, I believe, and I grabbed the coffee because it was a free one, and he hasn't used it for weeks, so grab that. Did a quick trip. I couldn't tell you which one. I was just driving at that point.
When you use it's a rewards card is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
You just
God, not for nothing, guys, but as much as this stupid psycho loser kid annoys me with everything he says, I think that was actually a brilliant piece of dialogue. You know, the sort of thing that Joel and Ethan Coen come up with, you know, a Coen Brothers movie. I got a coffee last Wednesday and at a Quick Trip, and I used my dad's number. I could have afforded it, but there was a free one. It was $1. And I wanted to try Kruger Gold. And I got a coffee and it was free. You know, this kind of like repetitive. Actually, maybe it's more like David Mamet. You know, David Mamet play kind of repetitive, kind of obscure wordage, verbiage, phrasing, phraseology. Let's listen to it again.
To give me the free one. I got a coffee at a Quick Trip one day. Well, I think that could.
I think the meaning of life might be contained in this little story about his free coffee. Let's see if we can find it.
I got a coffee at a Quick Trip one day. Well, I think that could have been Tuesday morning.
Okay.
At Quick Trip, I got a coffee, and I used my dad's number at a Quick Trip to give me the free one because it was the Kruger Gold.
Yeah.
I could have afforded it, but you know, there's a.
You can't see the cops, but you can feel them looking at each other, going, "Oh, what is he doing? Should we do it now? Do you want to hang around for this coffee story, or should we arrest him now?" You know.
Free one. And it's Tuesday, or it wasn't Monday. I could have gotten $1 one, but it was full price, I believe. And I grabbed the coffee because it was a free one, and he hasn't used it for weeks, so I grabbed that. I did a Quick Trip. I couldn't tell you which one. I was just driving at that point.
when you use it's a rewards card is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
You just enter his phone number or
Type
something.
it. You type it.
Okay.
But I got a coffee. Had to be, I'm assuming, Tuesday. And I got a free one.
Sweet.
It was terrible.
Oh, what?
I wanted to try Kruger Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't
no,
bad.
he wanted to try Kruger Gold, guys, but it was terrible. So anyone ever go and get coffee at a Quick Trip and try Kruger Gold? Interested to know in the comments. We have pretty good coffee here in Portugal. You know, the best one is Delta, but you know, you guys in America, you wouldn't know what it was because the cups are so little. You know, you wouldn't know whether to drink it or just look at it. You know, is this art? Is this European art?
Then we're at Tuesday. Cat's working. And I'm gaming, job hunt, and then I started.
I love when this guy goes on about his job hunt, his job search. You know, typing into Google jobs, fake jobs, to buy me time, fake job ideas to buy time so I can play games. You know, if this guy had put just half the amount of effort he puts into lying about his fake life, you know, huge scale lies, you know, creating email addresses and spelling the people's names wrong, you know, he had multiple I mean, even that, you know, that's not quick. And then to think it all through and deal with it. I mean, he must have had an ulterior motive because he got a buzz out of it or something. What a waste of time. So he could waste time. I mean, I have nothing against video games. I just think it's a pretty sad thing if that's what you want to do all day, every day. You know, I'm not a big gamer. I had, I like Grand Theft Auto, you know. That last one, the Grand Theft Auto thing, it's like 10 years old now or something. Yeah, I could play that for a full weekend. You know, a few snacks, get a comfortable chair, and immerse yourself in the game. But I don't want to make a life out of it, you know? And no disrespect to any big gamers out there, but it's good to mix it up a bit. That's all I'm saying.
Trying to get the glass. 'Cause I've been a little lazy on the glass. I just kind of have chairs in front of it. I broom and a little sweeper holder. You broom it into that
Dustpan.
Yeah. Tossing the glass into recycling. I get most of it. There's a bunch in the cracks of the stone that I'm picking out by hand. I think I didn't injure myself from that, but just yeah. And just my blood was kind of on the floor, so I got the Swiffer I borrowed from Kat from the foot.
Does anybody in the chat have a device called a Swiffer wet jet? Because he borrowed one from his girlfriend's mom to clean up all the blood. And then he gave it back. I mean, it's just the worst plan ever.
I brought a Swiffer to mop. I Swiffered the floor, like not the stone, but the floor. And then I got a little bit in the kitchen.
Hey, Wednesday, where are you from? We know where everybody else is from, but we don't know where Wednesday is from.
And then everywhere kind of I walked, pretty much. The bathroom, the kitchen, and then I couldn't get the carpet, so I still stained that up real crappy.
Where was their carpet at?
The stairs between basement and kitchen.
Carpet. Oh, that's right.
Carpet stairs. I tried. I can't get it out. I don't know how to do that, but then all the way up to the laundry room where I found my first aid kit. I just tried to stop all the bleeding, but it wouldn't stop. So
And that blood was all coming from your left foot.
yeah, left foot hole.
Left foot hole.
Yeah.
Another psycho sentence. Left foot hole. Even the detective Brian Shunk is like, what the fuck is that? Left foot hole. Okay. Not the hole in my left foot. Left foot hole. Yeah, this is Sunday. Left foot hole, bleeding all over the place. Swiffer wet jet, mopping the floor. So if you find any streaks, it's definitely from my left foot hole.
I mean, are we talking massive amounts of blood, or are we talking, a little bit, like describe?
It started as drops until I got to the bathroom. And then I got back to go grab my sock and some of the paper towel. And then I see the glasses in there, so I grab a tweezers and I pull it out. And then it starts squirting out. And I got some.
Wow, Minnesota. So are you Minnesota nice? Or is that just in Minneapolis?
Oh, no, a little bit of the rock. It wasn't that bad of the rock. But I think the worst was that floor. That, like, it kind of like, like this lid puddles.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't good.
Are we letting the floor down in the basement?
Well, that one, and then I go upstairs to the kitchen, and it's still going, and I'm trying to get my foot in the sink just to slow it down and pinch it maybe. And then I waddle upstairs.
Hey, Brenda, how you doing, Brady Eddie? Brady Eddie Edwards.
To the IFAC, the first aid kit. And once I got it kind of bundled up, it stopped for what I know. Then I need to get some tape. We have a tape box in the basement. I go there and I opened it up again. I bled a little bit more, but the basement was easy to clean. It's just cement. There's a little bit of wire, and I rigged that up. But then I grabbed the tape box and I wrapped it. After that's Tuesday.
Yep.
That's Tuesday. Wings. I go to Cats.
Oh, okay.
We had wings.
Okay, Wednesday. Are you saying that people who are Minnesota nice are passive aggressive, or people that use that term to describe the mannerism, like I just did? Am I being passive aggressive? Sorry. No, I think you mean like how they act is passive aggressive, right? I mean, I get most of my information from Fargo, so yeah. What's it say on the license plate in Minnesota? It says the Great Lakes State. No?
What time?
That could have been. I've been doing the BS of first aid and all that. I go to Kat's house with her mom and her brother. That could have been 5 or 6. I couldn't give you the exact.
Did you guys pick up the wings and go there? Or?
No, I drove to Kat's.
Okay.
Straight there.
What'd you drive?
The Subaru.
Car choice.
I just with the Volvo's seat, I can't do it with my foot.
Okay.
Anytime he gets a opportunity to say, yeah, terrible life-changing injury over here, poor me, poor me, poor me. You know, he's just like, yeah, I drove the Subaru because, the Volvo seat with my, and points to his leg. I can't, the nerve is too damaged to drive a Volvo. Swedish people have very strong legs. So when they made Volvos, they did it with really strong legs in mind. And my legs are now crippled for the rest of my life because of my damaged nerve. And so obviously didn't kill my parents.
So we're talking about wings. Did you guys go pick up wings? Or?
Yeah, so we get there, and we're calling around, seeing what's up. James is getting home with Jimmy John's. And we're like, oh, don't eat all of it. He's like, well, I'm hungry now. I do all that post-gym crap. So he grabs, eats half of his sandwich, and then we go, Kat and I, the two of us, in my car, we go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Do you remember which one?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't. It had to be east, right? That's close to yours. It's by a mall.
No, the east one.
It's by a mall. There's a mall. We go in, we get the wings, we go out. We go to Cats, we eat.
Yeah, there's a saying Wednesday about Minnesota Nice where um, uh, say that there's a load of people in a hotel swimming pool that's only open until 10:30 at night. There's a load of Minnesota people in the swimming pool drinking at 11:05 p.m. And the joke is, how do you get a load of Minnesota people out of a swimming pool that have been drinking and they're not supposed to be in there? And the answer is, you ask them to get out of the pool. Or something like that. I told that real badly, but there it is.
We watched this movie, Pretty in Pink or something. It's about a girl that likes fashion and goes to Harvard. So,
Is it on Netflix or is it on the TV?
they have like everything there. I didn't.
That's the other thing about this guy. And I'm not shaming anyone for what they watch or whatever kind of gender orientation, interest, whatever, but everything he watches is called either New Girl or Pretty in Pink or there was another one that just sounded like a total chick fest, and that's fine. It's just a fact.
I didn't know.
All right, so you eat the wings at Cats, watch Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, it is a Rob's choice. But all the four of us, yeah, we all ate.
Okay.
And then went upstairs and laid down in her bed for a few minutes.
Just letting the food settle or
Yeah.
hanging out.
Noticed she
Brian Chunk's like just bored of his own voice now. It's like he's being a detective, right? But he knows that he hasn't really got a job to do. So when Chandler says, "Yeah, we ate and then we went to lie down," and Brian Chunk's just like, "So just letting the food settle, or yeah, I usually lie down after I eat. Sometimes I eat a supersized pizza while lying down in bed." And then I let the food settle.
she's kind of fallen asleep. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get out of here. And I go home, get the girls all ready for bed.
See, behavior panel would be all like, yeah, he said, I'm ready to get out of here. Now, psychosomatically, he is referring to getting out of the interrogation room, but he knows that he has to go through the detective. Oh, I got so bored of that channel after a while, It was kind of fun for Amber Heard and Prince Andrew. Hey, we got to do the Prince Andrew interrogation, right, guys? I think that's going to be a little one-time special. We'll try and do it all in one part. I think it's about 45 minutes long. But without commentary, it's going to be a 2-hour special. A 2-hour Dateline special with autopsy photos.
Going outside, get on water.
What time do you think you made it home?
Say 9 at the latest. So girls, water, well, not really food, they've ate before, but water and played like indoor playtime in the bathroom.
Sure.
So
It's interesting that he's wearing his, what is that, 2011 or 14? I can't see his hoodie. But I think it's the hoodie of his swim and dive team from high school that he's still wearing 8 years later. And I think this kid was, good at swimming. He's a fish in the water. He is actually a Pisces, and so am I. And I couldn't be less pleased about that. He's giving my team a bad name and a horrible name. It's just like I really hope that I don't share any traits with this kid. Anyway, he's wearing his swim and dive team hoodie. He was pretty high up. I think he was a lifeguard or something in his swim team. And quite possibly that's the last time that he was anybody. You know, while he was at high school swimming and had the hoodie and was a lifeguard and probably had his own little whistle as well, and was able to sit on that chair that's really high up next to the pool, you know, that was probably the last time he felt like anybody, right? Now he's nothing. He's just a fake, and even a bad fake. I mean, he's just sitting at the screen, immersed in what's his game called? Escape from Tarkov. You know, but he's clinging on to that hoodie, right? He's wearing that hoodie. I wish we could see what's written on his cap. LLC something, as that's just some thrift store cap. But this hoodie is his trophy. You know, the last time when he was at high school, he probably thought that was really like, you know, meant something and that he was a champion. And then as soon as he left high school, he was like, oh, shit, college. I can't deal with this. You know, the step down in life, and just didn't have it in him to step up. So now he sits at home drinking soda in a couch fort, playing video games and watching New Girl. But he still wears the hoodie to just wrap himself up in the memory of thinking he mattered.
You guys go to, so you were home alone then.
Well, I've been home alone this whole weekend, really, except when Cat comes.
Yeah.
So Cat didn't come that night. So now we're pushing Wednesday, aren't we?
He's like, yeah, I've been at home this whole weekend, and Brian Chunk's like, yeah. We know, buddy. We know, buddy. We're about 4 minutes from revealing to you that we know everything and that we already have the bodies.
What time do you think you went to bed on Tuesday night?
Probably pretty dang close to when I got home. 10 at the latest. Kind of been tired lately.
Sure.
Then in the morning on Sunday? Or no, wait, where are we?
Wednesday already.
Wednesday, okay, so Wednesday. I try to go to the farm. I keep spamming Cress. I kind of need someone to talk to because freaking out about my parents. Jane's calling me. I give her the address to go to the farm, or to the cabin. Jane Hilgendorf. Never picked up from Cress, so I go home.
Did you drive over to the farm or?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't answering her phone, right?
No, I got close, but then I realized I can't just show up. They'd shoot me. They don't know when I drive or what I look like with a hat on.
They got guns over there, or would they actually shoot you?
No, I'm just saying. Her dad lives there. He's 90. He got a buck when he was 95 or something. So I know if he did.
Yeah, her dad lives there, and he's 90, but he got a buck when he was 95. Okay. I mean, you know, fair enough. He probably has had like 1 hour's sleep in 8 days. But, you know, that's his fault. If you've got to run around chopping up your parent, and he was like saying to his girlfriend, you know, it's the 4th of July. They wanted to go out and spend time with their friends, watch the fireworks and so on. And he was like, yeah. Can't tonight, babe. I know my parents aren't here, but my mom, she said that I have to stay in all night and do chores. So I'm going to be at home doing chores. But you go without me. Have fun.
Didn't know what it was. He could have.
Yeah.
So he's old. But he can use a gun. That's why I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So Cress's dad lives there too.
Yeah.
Is it Cress's farm or dad's
It's
farm?
her dad's. He built it.
Oh, okay. And then
She lives there. She's
Okay.
managing the property because he's in the chair.
Yeah, he's old.
So then it's not really a farm. It's a
Farm dad.
hobby farm.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
They
I
just
haven't ever been there.
let wildflowers grow for the bees. That's pretty much it. And their own berries. But it's
They let wildflowers go. In other words, they just don't mow the lawn. They have this ride-along mower that they ride up to the pool on top of the hill, but they never mow the lawn because they let wildflowers grow for the bees. Well, it sounds like a nice place, and I saw some pictures, drone pictures of the land. It looks great. I could do with that.
then here we are. I turn around and then Jane calls. I get a picture of the property at the cabin.
And get this, guys. The gun that he used to shoot his dad in the back, and we don't know where he shot his mother because only her leg was found and a foot. But the gun he used to shoot his parents was an SKS rifle, which I believe is a Russian variation of an AK, I think, or an AR-15. I'm not sure. Not a gun guy. We're Europe here, folks. We don't have guns, given to us when we leave the womb. But that's okay. Yeah. So the SKS rifle was his favorite gun in the game. The different guns in the game, and he would always, when he was playing online with his buddies, he would always use the SKS rifle. And so one of his buddies that was, an online buddy that he would game with was a soldier stationed in Germany who returned to where he lives in Kansas, quit the army and drove up to see Chandler, like 8-hour drive to Madison, and gave him the gun and some rounds of ammo. That's where he got the gun. And the reason he gave him the gun, this guy is a total gun nut, the guy from Kansas, and he's got loads of guns. So he just gave his friend this gun because he knew that it was his favorite gun to use in the game. And that's the gun he used to kill his parents.
And I see that. So I'm looking at the cabin. And then it doesn't look right. There's a birch tree in front. And I didn't like the look of it because that didn't just sit right with me a little bit. But it looked like tracks were pushed down into the grass a little bit. I don't know, from the picture. And Mike said there was like light tracks, like someone was there.
Where was the birch tree at?
Little tip, guys, the whole debate around eye contact when you're lying. It used to be blanket statement, oh, when people are lying, they can't make eye contact. And then everyone caught on to that and made really heavy eye contact when they were lying, as if to say, see, can't be lying because heavy eye contact. And then people started to get weary of heavy eye contact. But fuck all what people say about that. It's about sensing what's right in the moment. And if you're saying something like he is now, I think he's talking about the video footage from when his parents' best friends went to the cabin where supposedly his parents went. And they sent him a video or did a video call, and they saw this, basically when the family go up to the cabin and leave the cabin, they put this old trunk on the middle of the driveway so people know that, don't go up here, and, just that kind of a polite deterrent. And Chandler's like, yeah. There was an old piece of a birch log dragged, and I think there were tracks, and that didn't look right to me. In that situation, he should be making eye contact with the cop. If he's being truthful, and it is truthful, he should be looking for the cop's response. That's why the eye contact is important. It's not a case of I'm telling the truth or I'm not. It's about what the person talking wants to do. And in that situation, if you're giving a potential lead, as Wendy Adelson would say, I'd like to talk to General Isom about a potential lead. Jeffrey Lacasse, very jealous and a maniac, flies into a rage. He was all red and puffy. He was so red and sweaty, and he lied.
Looked like it was in the middle of the drive. And sometimes we do that. We find a fallen log and we put it like a double door entrance.
Mhm.
So you go in from the gate, you park, you move the next, and then you drive it.
Yeah, sure.
So that's like the only security we can get up there. We have done that before. The grass is overgrown, but that's from the storm and the fallen trees.
Mhm.
You can't mow there because of the flowers.
So with the birch tree, I mean, if you guys typically put stuff down like security, why did it look weird to you this time?
I've never seen that log. We have this log that
Yeah, I've never seen that log before. In fact, has anyone looked into that log? Do we know where that log was on the 1st? Check all doorbell camera footage for a birch log in our neighborhood.
One that you
close to the shed. It's, I would say, closer to petrified than rotten. It's hard, like really hard.
Yeah, behavior panel be all like petrified is a way that he's describing himself now as he looks down the barrel at life in jail.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of tree, but that's what my dad and I use when we go.
So you typically use the same tree. This one just seemed out of place too.
Yeah, that's not the tree we use.
Gotcha.
Where are we?
Wednesday morning, Jane sends you a picture of the cabin. You see the birch tree and it looked
All right.
right to you.
Then I go to the police station because I ask her, when should I make a thing? I'm sorry.
No worries, man.
What?
Wednesday morning, you said you went to the police department.
Yeah, to make a. I'm still thinking that. Talk to him about my parents, and
Can he not remember the term file a missing persons report, or is that crossing some kind of line for him, or what? What is the difficulty there?
then I met with 3 sheriffs that came.
3, you said?
3. There was a Seeley. He's bearded. The guy that drove me here, I'm not sure the name. And then Collins. She was also doing canvassing.
Mm-hmm.
So canvassing. So here we are, throws 3. I get the questions answered. Then we go to my house. And then there's 3 more, the same 3 sheriffs.
So they talked to you at the police station or wherever you get.
Yeah, I get information and stuff like
And then
that.
they came to your house.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's probably about then I came a couple hours later.
They were there questioning. You're here now questioning. And then that night, what night are we on? Wednesday night. I go to Dan and Mary's.
Wednesday night.
What
time do you think?
They feed me. I had probably 7:30.
And you said you went to
Dan and Mary Sesto and Dan Somethingovich.
So Mary Sesto's house.
Mary Sesto's house. It's on the same road.
As
Pretty
yours?
much. Yeah.
Okay.
They just up the
Around
curves.
the corner. For dinner, you went there?
Yeah. Well, they just fed me. They didn't eat.
Okay.
They just wanted to brainstorm.
Any good ideas come out of it?
No.
Okay. So you said
We
you went.
only could think of Dan, and Dan's been here.
Yeah. So you said you went to the police department to talk about your parents. What?
Yeah, Wednesday, of course. Likes help the channel. Everyone like, share, leave a comment. I need to start saying that again. I used to say that like every 20 minutes or something. Like, share, leave a comment, share the channel. Tune in and ring that bell. And we've got memberships coming out, guys. Channel's taken a bit of a hit as we've switched the case from the very popular Dan Markel, Professor Markel murder trial and associated interrogations. And now we're looking at some older trials. So I think there's less of an audience, which is surprising, but not really surprising because the Adelson situation is just so immensely fascinating for all of us. You know what I got to do? I got to find the time to make a video about the Adelson situation, the Dan Markel case, that Fancy Fiction is going to love. I know I can do it. And then we'll bring her in. And then ultimately, I will make her my chat moderator.
Just tell me what exactly did you talk about your parents with the deputies about?
Oh, we're making a report. A report that I thought I had to do that at a station.
Okay. And you were reporting, like, what were you reporting exactly? I just want to write down and
Yeah.
have it on there.
They're missing this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was reporting their missingness, guys. He just went straight into the coffee break room of the police station and said, parents are in an extreme state of missingness.
Gotcha.
Then
As far as you know, I mean, were you able to tell? We've gone into a lot of detail last night and tonight, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that you gave them as much information as you've given me, or do you think that
you've asked way more questions?
Yeah.
So you even asked about my injuries, the bleeding in the fireplace.
Yeah.
The sheriffs kind of gave what they need to make reports, and you've just asked about like home.
Hey, Brenda. Yeah, this kid had a girlfriend. Can you believe it? And, she's pretty sweet and innocent and good-hearted and, she's got social skills and she's enthusiastic and a real little darling. A real darling. And yeah, there's a huge, long interrogation that they've got her in the other room right now, but her room is like all couches, and there's a huge Pikachu cuddly toy. No, it's Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. I know it was yellow. Yeah, there's a Pooh Bear in the friendly interrogation room, but actually the cops do come on her. They start off really pretty distant with her because they're thinking she might be involved with at least the cleanup, right? Because she's been in the house with the cut up bodies. She didn't see anything, and she didn't know anything about this because she just was, sometimes innocent people are real easy to fool, because they're just not looking for that bad thing. It's like Prince Andrew. That's the line he tried to get out of trouble when they were like the Emily Maitlis, the lady that interviewed him for the BBC, was like, sources have said that it was impossible to be in his residences, Mr. Epstein's residences, or around him without knowing what was going on, because he had hundreds of young Russian prostitutes following him around at all times. And Prince Andrew's like, I don't often go into these situations looking for the wrong thing, if you know what I mean. But actually, that is how it happens. And it happened with this young Catherine Melander. So they've got her in, the cops have got her, two other cops have got her in the interrogation room right now. And her interrogation or interview lasts for about 3 or 4 hours. And then she comes back in a day or two with this really fat lawyer who I think is like a friend of the family for another follow-up kind of chat with the cops. And she's blown away. And so we might cover that because that's pretty interesting, the direct flip side to the situation. And she's quite funny, and her time on the stand, she kind of looks like this Kawasaki ninja, not the motorbike, just a ninja, because she's dressed in black. She's got a black mask on, and her hair is kind of, I think she really took the opportunity with COVID to hide her face from the public, because you can tell on the stand she is fucking broken up there. And not so much that I don't think so much because she's sad to lose this guy. She's realized that all what happened, and that it happened right under her nose. And can you imagine the amount of self-doubt if you thought to yourself, wow, I was with my boyfriend all weekend having a normal time, and okay, he did seem a little bit tired, but I noticed nothing out of the ordinary, and in fact stuck up for him when it came down to it. And all of that time, he had his mother's head in the fridge. You're gonna find it a little hard to adjust to who you are as a person, your place in the world, trusting others, all sorts of things, your whole world. I'm sure no one on this chat room has ever had anything like that happen to them. It's rare that someone would encounter that in her life. And she's only 20 or 21 maybe at the time. Really, really horrible. And her time on the stand is pretty good too. So we might have a quick look at that.
Life, everything, right? Okay.
So you got more in depth,
Yeah.
I think. Wednesday, here we are, and throughout the weekend, I've been calling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Just kind of look at some things here. So we started Wednesday. Mom had work. You and your dad watched Wheel of Fortune. I'm just going to kind of read stuff back through.
Yeah.
Okay. And we kind of ended it last night because I've been.
Yeah, Udi, how do I do that? How do I make you a moderator? I'm going to look into how that. Do I have to invite? Does anyone know how to use StreamYard? Oh, man. I'm sure I can find out with a Google search. But maybe next time. I'll let you know, Udi. And maybe for some of the key players here, we can find a way to communicate offline or online, but not in a stream. I don't know. Be good to maybe have some some round table discussion about what we want to cover on this channel. I feel like some of the key players on the chat room, certainly Rabbit, certainly Udi, they've been here since the beginning, guys, which was only January. 5 months we've been going, and 3 of those we took off. Took time off. So it's going well, but we need to find the time to be more dedicated. I do, man. Shocking. But yeah, it's coming, baby. Professional streams are coming with edits and real sound and microphones. It's all coming, baby. So like, share, leave a comment, memberships, click everything. Click everything.
Talking to you since then, so I don't think there's much else that I need you to tell me from last night. So watching Wheel of Fortune, you're on the couch, table downstairs, or the couch with the back to the table downstairs, and tossing the ball.
I think Chandler's picking up that it's coming, right? Look at him. He's just retreated into a shell now. Look at him. He's like, oh my God, I'm about to be arrested. They know it was me.
Went on for the dog and broke the glass fireplace. Your foot gets hurt, Dad gets mad. Right?
Yeah.
Mom left for work in the morning, comes home later on. Dog was fine, not injured at all. Was it the dog or the ball that crashed into the glass?
Both. The ball bounced it, but the dog hit it with the shoulder. That's how it broke. The ball wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, probably not. Okay. All right. Playing games, watching YouTube, job search. I'm just gonna, instead of reading out loud, just make sure I don't have any questions. You guys typically make your beds every day? Look like they were made yesterday when I was there.
Yes.
Okay.
We usually use sheets every few days and beds.
You change the sheets every day?
Every few,
Yeah.
they get changed
I was gonna say that's
in the pillowcases. Or the dog hair, it's kind of hard to sleep.
Yeah, they probably do have some pretty long hair.
The heat they shed. But you're
Yeah,
talking.
no,
Sorry.
that's fine. I get it. I got a dog. He sheds too, but you got 2 of them. All right. As far as the blood on your foot, how did you clean that up? So we were talking. You had blood on
Swiffer wet jet.
Okay, Swiffer wet jet. And where did you get that from?
Cat let me borrow it.
Where's it at now?
I returned it.
To Cat.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
I don't know where it's at now. I just brought it back. Gave it back to her.
Did you use anything else?
Hydrogen peroxide for the tiles and the hard floors. Just the big globs needed a little bit.
Hydrogen peroxide. Did that seem to help get rid of the blood?
Well, it hurt my foot. That stuff. But it didn't really help.
Okay.
It kind of just made a mess.
And when you say only on tiles, I'm trying to remember your house.
I couldn't do carpet with it. It would
Yeah.
ruin the carpet, right?
It would. I think so. Tiles, are we talking kitchen? Because downstairs is just like cement.
Well, when I had some blood on the basement, I used the peroxide.
Okay. Basement floor and tiles in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I peroxided. It wasn't as much. Like, there were like this size pools in the kitchen.
Okay.
I was pinching it pretty dang hard, but which was also cutting deeper because I had might still have another piece of glass.
So the biggest pool that you saw was something?
This was downstairs. This was kind of on the stone, close to the glass, and then there was one right at the base, kind of where the chairs I put, like a good, like 2-3 inch diameter.
3-inch diameter.
More than that.
Udi, there is a Discord. There is a Discord. What do they call it? Server. Yeah, I set one up the other day because I was checking out what to put on the different memberships now that we qualify for memberships, guys. Check that out. They're not released yet because I'm still working out what that all means. But yeah, there is a Discord account set up for True Crime Metrix. I still don't know what one is. I think it's where we chat and watch videos together, which is sort of what we're doing here anyway. So yeah, I haven't really had time to understand what that is and why it's good, but I will. But there is one set up. I don't know. If you search for it, it should be just called True Crime Metrix on Discord. Get it going, Udi. Knock yourself out. Hey, thanks, Ryan. Big B Ryan. This is a great channel. I've even asked Fancy Fiction to collab with you. That would be cool. I just don't think we're in the same category yet. I have no time to dedicate to this channel, which is shameful. Since the algorithm started like being nice to us, I feel like, well, I better start making some content. But basically, I get back to the computer, I spend 20 minutes making a thumbnail and go straight into a live. I've got no prep. I've seen all the videos plenty because I just watch them all the time. You know, I listen to them in the day, and I've seen the Wendy Adelson, you know, the whole Adelson Denmark L trial, multiple trials, all of them, multiple times. I've not read everything like Fancy Fiction's always on about, like, I have read everything on this case. Okay, well, I haven't. And I only dip in and out of Reddit. But I have watched all the trials multiple times and seen all the videos multiple times. But I think maybe Fancy Fiction looks down on a little old channel like mine, you know. Which is fair enough. You know, she obviously puts a lot of time and a lot of work into her research, and I will be able to do that soon, you know. We're out there. We're in the streets making money, and then come the summer, we're just not going to work anymore. We're going to work on this, and then we're going to make a video for Fancy, an open letter from True Crime Metrix to Fancy Fiction, saying, "Come on, baby, get down here and collab with the king." Just kidding.
Did you do anything to? So I wrote down on Tuesday that you tried getting the glass cleaned up in the basement, tossed it in the glass and recycling. Did you clean up at all when it actually happened?
No, my dad was furious. So he did stuff
To clean it.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but he sent me to my room upstairs. He did whatever he did, but it still was on the floor after he was done.
Okay. Did your dad get injured at all when the glass broke? Did he?
Yeah, Matilda Yeager says, at the end of the trial, Chandler reached out to any lawyer who would be willing to help with his appeal. Yeah, that was just unbelievable, wasn't it? You know, he didn't say anything or have any reaction to anything the whole way through the trial. Yeah. His lawyers did basically nothing. They cross-examined no one. They had no witnesses of their own. They made a pretty flimsy opening statement, a very flimsy opening statement, and a bordering on offensive closing argument up against Attorney William Brown, state prosecutor, and his co-counsel was, I think it was Angela Rayner, somebody Rayner, who was also very good. I mean, they really made a point of, we are not letting this guy slip out of this. You know, they really didn't need to go to as much effort as they did. It was a smoking gun case, but they went to all the effort and more just to double lock those hatch doors, man. Those prison doors, those cell doors, you know, just double lock that shit. The judge was unbelievably cool. Bow tied wearing judge. Really soft spoken, really fair, really well mannered, and even in the midst of this horror, you know, horrific story, horrific evidence, photographs, insufferable defendant, you know, he managed to still keep it, you know, on a level that was, I don't know if jovial, that's not really the right word, but, you know, he was kind of jolly about it. You know, he had a job to do, he did his job, but he also showed a lot of heart for everybody, even Chandler, to a certain extent, you know. And in case anyone was wondering, you know, Chandler got no chance of parole. The judge said that he would not be able to fulfill his duty to protect the community if he were to ever allow it for it to be considered that Chandler might one day be released into that community, which was fair enough, you know. Even his brother's, Chandler's brother's fiance was like, do not let this guy out. How will we ever feel safe if this guy is let out? That's his future sister-in-law, who no doubt had Christmases and cookouts and picnics and all of that good-hearted Wisconsin stuff. You know, the cheese race, the annual cheese race. If you're from Tallahassee, it's the pig race. In Wisconsin, they just get a giant round cheese and roll it down the hill, and the first one through the bottom to the bottom wins the cheese race.
Step on it here.
He sent me up, but I don't doubt it. When he gets mad, he's not thinking.
So we don't know if your dad got hurt.
No,
Okay.
no.
Another little repeat catchphrase that Chandler pulls out the bag. When he gets mad, he's not thinking. I think he gets these off his mother. You know, never heard Krista speak. We read a few of her texts. His mother's called Krista. Did we ever hear her speak? We saw pictures. We read texts. Yeah, I don't think we heard her voice, but you can imagine her saying, when he gets mad, he's not thinking. And that other thing he said. Oh, Dulce speaks her first thought right away.
But my best guess is that guy.
What's up?
The head pain. Do you guys have like Tylenol or something? I know you guys can't really offer anything like that, but
Like a headache.
yeah, I've been getting the migraines from all of the hits and stuff.
We can try and get you something like that.
So all right, so cleaning up the blood, we just got the Swiffer and the hydrogen peroxide.
Just kind of smeared it around. There's there's another thing. Paper toweling. Yeah, just that.
Okay.
And then there's, I don't know.
Where did all those paper towels go? just in the trash.
Yeah. Some
Thank you so much, Rabbit. I can always count on you for a heartwarming opinion. I don't even want to read it out because that would sound like self-promotion. But I am going to leave it on the screen for an hour. Because I'm so proud. I want to screenshot that and just put it in my scrapbook of memoirs. Thank you so much, Rabbit. And I just had to quickly look up what gallows humor is, and you're right, that is what I do. Okay. I like it. I like it. Gallows humor. Yeah. No, guys, I just say what's in my head. It's real hard being so into this kind of long interrogation watching. Not although in our community it seems like a lot of people want to watch this. In your day-to-day life, there are less. You'll speak to someone and you'll be like, "Oh, hey, what did you do yesterday?" "Well, I watched this interrogation about this young man who chopped up his mom and dad, and so he was lying about working for SpaceX, and you just see them go, okay, and that's it. They don't really know where to go from there in your day-to-day life. Even people close, they get into it for a while, but not like me, not like all of you. So yeah, I just talk what's in my head because there's no one else to really there's nowhere for those opinions to go. But I find all of this stuff very kind of, well, obviously it's a serious situation and it's horrible and it's graphic and it's terrible, but I think there's a real healthy thing in finding the humor in these lying sacks of shit, and it's an education for your day-to-day life because to a lesser extent we meet these people all the time. I say these people, kind of a bit on the same spectrum.
just everywhere. My car trash, in my trash.
Thank you as well, Wednesday. That's also a very nice comment. I really appreciate it. Very Minnesota nice of you.
They ended up in the car trash.
There's a bag in the car that I carry around. It's a car trash.
Oh,
It's like a gallon bag.
okay.
That's more portable than the garbage can. So, yeah, bloody rag after bloody rag, just trying to get it all off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was a lot. I didn't feel sick, so it couldn't have been that much, right?
Yeah, you didn't lose enough to pass out or anything. Is there any reason to believe mom or dad's blood would be somewhere in the house? Have they been injured at all that you're aware of?
Well, my dad scratches his psoriasis till he gushes blood.
Okay. Gushing, describe gushing to me.
Enough to run down your leg, like cover your leg, I suppose. Like he has it on his knee. So when he does this, it just drips down. I ask him to stop, but he doesn't do it when he's stressed out.
Yeah.
He just kind of it's his tick.
Yeah, probably itches. Does he does it enough to get on the floor? Does it leave?
Oh yeah.
Like how much? Like before we were talking the water bottle lid and the Yeti lid. Is there? Are we talking puddles like that or just ribbons or?
It could be enough.
Okay.
But I'm thinking Yeti lid if he's there and I don't catch him soon enough.
Oh jeez.
My mom's blood, just from her bloody noses she gets sometimes when she wakes up. That's why we've been doing the dehumidifier, or
Probably downstairs you get the.
He's painting this picture as a legacy of his parents, Bart is this crazed, angry man who never talks when he eats, only cooks in the big green egg, and madly, scratches his psoriasis until he's bleeding all over the house. His mother is running from room to the dehumidifier, back to the humidifier, trying to balance out, one nostril bleeds in each room. Then she's in the car with the air conditioning, which, creates a double bleed. I mean, he's desperately trying to say, yeah, look, guys, there might be signs of blood in the house from the psoriasis and the humidifier nosebleeds, and and the cops are like, so how much blood are we talking? Are we talking like the Yeti lid, like puddles like that? And Chandler's like, well, it gushes out of his leg.
We had long because that's a dehumidifier, and if she does, her nose.
Yeah, she's in the living room for like 5 minutes. She watches the opening credits of New Girl, and then it's back to the basement where the humidifier is. Jesus Christ.
It's bad. Not like a regular one. She gets it bad. But she either goes to the kitchen to fix it, her vanity, or the bathroom.
When she has bloody noses, are we talking it's just spraying around? Is it just dripping?
Well, it's not squirting, but it's just dripping, and she doesn't notice it.
Okay.
She can't feel it anymore.
Okay. Is there any reason to believe that in either one of their vehicles there would be any of their blood?
Their vehicles?
Yeah. Or anybody's vehicle, let's say that.
Maybe car trash. Mom's car trash.
I saw a great video from Matt Orchard, who covered the intonation of what he just said there. Their vehicles? And saying how it was all in the wrong place. That indicates that it may be that it would be a surprise for blood to be in their vehicles, but it may not have been a surprise for their blood to be in other vehicles. If we change it up a bit, the intonation, and put blood in their vehicles, like, what the fuck, blood? Or blood in their vehicles? You see what I mean? But he doesn't do either of those. He says blood in their vehicles. It's a fucking idiot.
Trash would definitely the past few days. My dad's car trash.
Why would they have blood in their car trashes?
Well, my mom does the bloody noses with the air conditioning. So when we have air conditioning, my mom will have to use bring towels and stuff, because in the hot days you can't have your windows open. You won't drive well. So air conditioning.
My mom on the hot days, she's driving around with a bath towel hanging out of each nostril. Bloody bath towels. And fucking Bart's next to her in the front seat, just scratching the shit out of his leg.
My mom will have nosebleeds. My dad hasn't had them as much as she does, but he gets them.
Okay.
His are worse than my mom's.
Does he ever get them in the house then,
or? Mostly just with air conditioning, or sometimes with the dehumidifier.
Okay.
Me personally, just in air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
I get them, but I'm not as bad as my parents. It's not bad.
Okay. All right.
question.
Yeah, I'm
just
just,
listening right
just thinking.
now. It's kind of absorbing.
I just want to make sure that I'm asking everything so I don't have to keep calling me and stuff.
Oh, do you know my brother? Is he okay?
Mitch?
Yeah, did he make it? I know that's a long drive for
He hasn't
those
called.
two.
Yeah, he hasn't called me at all, so I don't know.
I don't think they've ever done a trip like that.
So it's like 3 hours, 3.5. I looked up.
Mitch, Caitlin, I don't know.
Okay. As far as up at the cabin, when do you think the last time you were up there?
Personally, last year,
Last year.
Memorial Day, I believe. If it wasn't the weekend before Memorial. I didn't make the parade. I never got to go last year.
When do you think the last time your mom or dad were at the cabin before?
My dad went when my brother was diagnosed with diabetes.
When was that?
The weekend before my concussion, so 1, 2, 3. Well, not including this week. 3, 4. Yeah, 4. 4 weeks. He went up.
Brother doing okay. He wasn't born with diabetes then.
No, this was like it's the kind you're born with.
June of this year, like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went up, noticed our plumbing's gone to crap, and he bought a new set, something at a flea farm or a Home Depot, or it's like a 4-way converter type thing for the plumbing.
Okay.
Something
For the cabin.
Yeah, for the cabin.
It's for like a toilet or
Yeah, we have a toilet up there actually now.
nice.
Not
Just an outhouse.
no, there is an outhouse.
Yeah, you want to ask for him?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Advil?
Cool. What you said?
I got Advil, does that work?
Yeah. I was like, I thought you said Adderall.
No, I don't
No,
know that.
not that. Just Advil. Just over the counter stuff.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like 3 of them work.
Appreciate it.
You bet. No, what the hell?
Thanks, Tim.
Just say Advil on him, right? You put them on your mouth already? Never mind, they're
They
ready.
are.
No, I just got
So the plumbing went to
truth
crap.
serum.
No.
Is it
Just
like
Advil.
was it a sink or a toilet?
Truth serum, guys. Why would he say that?
Or what was it with the plumbing that went bad?
So when we have to pour water in every time we go up to start the pump.
Oh, okay.
So some reason by pouring water in, the water never rose in the toilet bowl apparently. So you couldn't flush it. You know, the water didn't come to the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
So he needed a new thing to stop whatever the problem was. I think leaking. I don't know. I didn't hear everything from him.
Sure. How did he find out about that?
He?
Yeah. How did he know that there was a plumbing issue up there?
Well, he went up there just to go see the cabin.
Oh, so when he went up a couple weeks ago, he realized an issue. This time he wanted to fix it.
Yeah, well, he fixed the major issue, so it won't be flooding the house.
Okay.
Or the cabin. Now, he wanted the pipe set to redo it.
Okay.
Remember yesterday, guys, his dad told him, I'll need a set for pipe repair. As far as Chandler would say it, that's the last words.
Because
Yeah,
we need new pipes, they're lead. And I think we might be moving to plastic because there's no water heat. We can do plastic.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what that part was. But that was when Mitch diabetes, the number one.
did Mitch go up there with him? When he
No, my mom and I were kind of with Mitch all that weekend doing stuff.
Dad just went to
Yep. And then later that week, I had my fall, and I've just started getting my memory back.
Okay.
So
Where did has mom been up there this year at all?
Mom has not been up there this year.
Okay.
Maybe they were up there before. No, I think Dad Dad did it all himself, maybe. I mean, this is first
And Mitch hasn't been in the cabin in a while, right?
today.
Oh, well, today.
Yeah, I couldn't say he's been there. He didn't go last year.
Okay. Does he kind of do his own thing, or?
Mitch hasn't lived with us, or like, he's got a family now, a dog, a girlfriend, no kids, but
Cool.
he's kind of, opposite side. You know how it is with brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
He's flew the coop.
Got a few of them myself.
Yeah,
All right.
I've started thinking about that myself, and my parents are trying to figure that out with.
This bit kind of gets skirted over, guys. His brother flew the coop. His brother has a job, bought a house, has a fiance, probably going to have a kid on the way soon. Attorney Brown brings this up in an opening statement, how his brother was doing adult things, And if there's any resentment in Chandler and Chandler Halderson, if there's any resentment in Chandler Halderson, and I think we can all agree there's some, gotta have a lot for his brother, huh? Well, really for himself, when comparing himself to his brother, going, he's doing all that, and I'm playing the game, this computer game, Escape from Tarkov, and watching New Girl. And this is Monday. Yeah. Just a little bit of self-loathing, jealousy. I don't know. He's the younger brother. I'm not saying it was a motive for the crime, but I think it was a motive for what led up to the crime. All his lies. Elon Musk wants me to come and help him with his solar panels. I'm going to be having lunch with Elon on the space shuttle on the International Space Station, where we're going to discuss photovoltaic crystallization technology. I'm better than my brother.
With me.
Mm-hmm. And Bill, anything to worry about that?
They got all the background, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think it's time we start talking about what happened to your parents. Like the truthful version.
Okay.
Okay. So we have like 20 pages of writing. We're going to start with a clean white piece of paper for you to start telling the truth.
Okay. What?
Because listen to me. This is the only chance you're going to have to tell us the truth. Okay. What we listen. I can't tell you what we know, but we know you're not telling us the truth. We know your parents are no longer with us. Okay, and we know the reason why. Okay, you need to tell the truth. Listen. You need to tell the truth about what happened, and just tell us why it happened. Okay. If something happened, if you were defending yourself, or if you just got fed up.
Something tells me he's not prepared. He should have had a backup plan. He should have gone, okay, if they start asking me, saying stuff like that, I should come up with something that I'm going to say.
Up with stuff.
By the way, we are racing the clock, guys. We've got 7% of battery left. For some reason, the friggin' power supply won't charge the thing at the moment. That happens sometimes. I've got all the brightness on low, and we got 5 minutes left. Let's race the clock.
You need to tell us the truth, okay? This is your chance to tell us why, okay? I'm not BSing you, okay? So can we do that?
Okay, they're okay. Lawyer.
I'm sorry.
Say anything, Jenny?
Lawyer.
Okay.
Because they're.
Okay. You want a lawyer?
Does anyone remember that bit in, I think it was Better Call Saul, when Mike Ehrmantraut is being questioned by the DEA, and cool as fuck, when he's being questioned, he just says in a really low voice, lawyer. You know, lawyer. I think that's what Chandler thought he was doing in his mind.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Say it again, Chandler. Lawyer. Because they're
Lawyer, because
You want to lawyer?
they're not dead.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. This right on the timer. It's about 6.
Hey, Chandler, that's probably the last sip you're going to have out of a giant novelty cup. But that's okay.
41.
Get under rest. Okay.
Okay. What happened? Okay.
You know what happened. We're not going to tell you what happened. You know what happened. You were there when it happened. We're not BSing you, okay?
I wasn't there when it happened.
We know more than you think we know. Okay? There's people that have.
It's almost like he's going to say, listen, can I call my parents to help? Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, yeah, whoops.
Told us things. We have evidence. We have proof that more has happened. Okay. So your parents never made it to the cabin, and I think you know that. Okay. So you're asking for an attorney. We're not going to ask any more questions.
Stand.
Stand up. You want to stand up and just come over here for me? Get it in your pockets at all. Wallet. Just a wallet that they put in there. Oh.
Well,
When a pregnant woman comes, she has a lot of
I would not want to touch this guy's pocket.
So they won't take the vape down in the jail. Okay. Where's your coin purse at?
You just took it.
Oh, that's a vape and a coin purse.
No, it's in.
Oh, in. I got you. I'm just gonna make sure you don't have it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's take this.
Just a thought, guys. I know we see it all over the place, but it's got to be such a weird thing to be Brian Chunk, putting the cuffs on this kid who is freaked out right now. I'm just going, man, I blew it. I completely blew it. Everything is gone forever. You know, what a moment to encounter in someone's life, and you're the guy that's like enforcing that. Crazy. Nice jeans though.
A handcuff from her. Or...
Yeah, that's.
Look at your hands for a second. Yeah.
Rabbit, no. He didn't get dragged out in cuffs in front of his girlfriend. She's still being interrogated, and a little later she says, oh, can I see him? And they're like, yeah, he's already been taken to the jail.
You just double lock them so they don't get tighter on you, right?
It's the way this works from here. We get you downstairs, fill out some paperwork. We'll get you into an area. And then you can make calls from there, okay?
Is there a way I can? Where's how do I make a lawyer call?
Downstairs. So once we get you booked in, we'll get you the opportunity for that.
Okay, so
once we get you booked.
Can you?
Yeah, Chandler, it's just like a hotel, except, well, the walls are concrete, reinforced concrete, and your pillow is fire resistant, which means that it's made of thick plastic that smells like an old gym mat. You know, those dirty old gym mats that you used to have in school. It smells like that. That's what you're going to have your face on forever when you sleep. There's going to be no more video games. That reminds me, guys, we got to do Rocky, Rambo, Waynam, Cam. All you guys up in BC, all you guys up in Vancouver. Or was it Alberta? It might have been Alberta. In what do you call it? Edmonton. Have I got that right? I don't know. It's Western Canada. Rocky, Rambo, Waynam, Cam. This is a guy who thought he was in a video game. Went and axe murdered this nice old couple. You know, great interrogation by him. You know, of him.
You want me to roll with you, Bill, or
I'm good if you got the code on there. That's
I'll
fine.
gather your things?
I just wonder if you can hand me mine, if you don't mind. It's on the left.
This?
You can keep the other stuff there. I'll come back.
Oh, okay. Just this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you're good then?
I'm gonna just search this so you can take it down with him.
Okay.
I think they should be okay with that. It's just a
metal?
multi-tool opener.
You could put the vape in the wallet.
I just threw it there. I'll grab it when I come back.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, one thing.
Okay, we're good.
Is that it? I love that all we've got to look at now is the Yeti Cup.
Conheça o Wix Studio, a nova
Man, that was like a fucking David Hockney painting. The Yeti Cup. But where is its owner? You know, Hockney was always painting things that made you think of something that wasn't in the picture, you know, which is genius. The subject was the thing not included. You're telling me that's not genius? That's so fucking zen, man. You know? Anyway, guys. Remember, guys, like, share, leave a comment. T-shirts, merch, memberships. Share the merch. All right, there is no merch yet, but it's coming. And the kosher style T-shirts. We've got a whole range of kosher style T-shirts coming out, ready to hit. And you know everyone's gonna need one of each because, you know, it's like days of the week, you know, you gotta change it day by day. But they're all good though. I got 3 favorites. I think I'll just release those 3 at first. Low. Okay, I got 5% battery. Gotta work out what the frick is going on with this power supply. For the fade, Rabbit says, for the fade on that cop's Carhartt pants, I'd say he's like 15 years active duty. Absolutely. We've seen him on the witness stand, and I'd say you're right. Right on the money. Yeah, that Yeti cup. I hate it. Sorry, Neaty. But okay. Zen Yeti cup. Matilda says, "Hi Wednesday. Nice to meet you too." Matilda says, he calls his girlfriend and her mom a lot in his jail calls. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. We might have to go through a few of those. I think they were like really thinking that this was all a mistake, or they might have seen, or Dulce seems a little bit more streetwise than her daughter. And I think even she was like, well, okay, maybe he did do it, but maybe he was like horribly sexually abused by them or something. It was like thinking he did it, for a reason rather than just he got caught out quitting school and playing video games. I think after they got that, they were like, yeah, we better distance ourselves. The Zen Yeti cup. Yeah, I definitely want one now. I hated it at the beginning. Now I'm like, wow, it's deep. And it is deep because it's a really big cup, isn't it? Wow. Okay, guys, the Discord has been set up. Whatever that means. I don't know if you can. I can put the link in the description, but I'm probably going to do that later. But if you search on Discord for True Crime Metrix, something should come up. Can you guys start a party there without me? And then I can come and see what's up? Or do I have to do something for that? I don't know. But it does exist. So if you can find it, do something with it. If you can't, I'll put a link around the place later. See you later, Rabbit. Thanks a lot, babe. You're like my hostess, welcoming everybody, signing off. Udi, get those moderating fingers ready, guy. Wednesday, are there specific days we go live? Every day that I don't completely crash out from all the work. Yeah, we haven't really been able to build up a schedule at the moment because I never know what I'm doing every day. But in the future, I think we'll try and do four a week lives, and maybe we'll make some post-production content as well. But I'll let you all know about that in due course. Okay, Neverly. You searched but couldn't find it. Well, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'd do it now, but my battery's about to run out, and I need to go to sleep. Early morning. But I'll figure it out tomorrow. Neaty. Maybe you have to ring the bell. I don't know what notifications. I just click live. But maybe it's because I didn't schedule a stream. I just clicked go live. But we're gonna be establishing like a set pattern of lives. Maybe we're gonna do like regular stuff, 4 days a week at the same time, so you'll always know when the party is. But for now, we're just doing what we can do with the tools we got. All right, guys, I'm out. Thanks all.